We've seen crushed bodies, children with broken skulls. I just cannot describe the horror, honestly, that we have seen so far.
October 7th is an opportunity to clean house and to make sure this doesn't come back again.
The goal right now is not just to mow the lawn in Gaza, but to extirpate, pull out from the roots every blade of grass in Gaza.
The point is, we're a tiny Jewish state within the Arab Muslim world, and if we don't defend ourselves, then we're an ethnic minority.
Do you believe then you should also be entitled to the whole of Gaza?
Absolutely.
You're a war criminal because you are illegally settling in occupied Palestinian territory.
What right does Israel have to just take over Gaza?
This is where we're from. This is where we're going to stay. Nothing is going to get us out.
But the problem is you are sounding genocidal in the sense that you want to get rid of...
With regarding to Gaza and the Hamas war, okay, so we're going to have to fight them in Rafah, and if we have to fight them in the north, we'll do that as well. We're in a war. We're in a war. We're not here to just give it up right now just because it's not working here or there. We're at a war with people who have dug tunnels 15 stories deep, people who want to destroy the state of Israel. That is their charter. It's a religious charter. They say that they want to get rid of all of Israel, starting with Gaza. And if we have to pivot to the north, we'll do that. The Jewish people are used to conflict. We've been through a lot of conflicts throughout our history, 3,000 years of conflicts, but we're still here. So if we have to go north, we'll go north. It doesn't. What follows from your question is not that we should just give up and not attack in the south. It just means that we'll have to move on our attack north, and we're going to deal with this thing because we have no other option. And I want to remind you, Piers, that it's a proxy war as well. If we lose this thing, we're going to lose it to the Iranians, who just declared that they have a nuclear bomb. We have to fight this. We have to prosecute this war to the end. And send a signal to the Middle East that we're not joking around.
OK, let me play you Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, what he had to say on the weekend shows in America.
We're seeing parts of Gaza that Israel has cleared of Hamas, where Hamas is coming back, including in the north, including in Khan Yunis. As we look at Rafah, they may go in and have some initial success, but potentially at an incredibly high cost to civilians. But one that is not durable, one that's not sustainable. And they will be left holding the bag on an enduring insurgency because a lot of armed Hamas will be left, no matter what they do in Rafah. Or if they leave and get out of Gaza, as we believe they need to do, then you're going to have a vacuum, and a vacuum that's likely to be filled by chaos, by anarchy, and ultimately by Hamas again.
Now, Yishai Fleischer, the problem is America is, as I said, America is Israel's biggest ally by far. Also, biggest supplier of military hardware, which President Biden's already said he's going to stop a lot of that going to Israel if they go into Rafah. But to have the Secretary of State of the United States expressing such concern about the military strategy, surely that has to concern you, doesn't it? Because ultimately, if you kill all these innocent civilians in the process of getting rid of Hamas, but you end up not getting rid of Hamas, that is a failed war, isn't it?
Okay, so first thing with regarding to civilians, we have to remember that civilian deaths is actually part of Hamas's strategy against us. They want Israel to kill a lot of civilians so that Piers Morgan can ask, hey, what's going on with the civilians? So that the Antony Blinkens can give Israel a hard time. So that is in their interests. They are actually going against the Geneva Convention's stated laws that you're not supposed to put in civilians in front of.
Yeah, but Israel is also killing. Israel is also killing thousands of civilians. You accept that?
Yeah, yes, we are because we're in a war.
Right.
We're in a war, and we basically, it's like this, Piers. If we don't do it, then basically we are sending the war onto the next generation. We're just passing the buck. We're kicking the can down the road. It means that my children are going to have to prosecute the next war. We've already seen that. We've already had many wars with Gaza. This is like war number, like 5? So if we don't take care of this business, they're going to come stronger at us. They're going to declare victory. We can't have that. We can't have Iran be victorious in Gaza as it has been in Yemen, as it has been in Iraq, as it has been in South Lebanon. We can't have that. So this time, October 7th is an opportunity to clean house and to make sure this doesn't come back again. Now, people on the more right-wing part of the spectrum, believe that Israel should actually hold on to Gaza and have minimally a military presence there, if not more. Because if we just back out of there, what happens is the next Hamas or the next evolution of Hamas will take over. So yeah, Piers, bottom line is it's a war and we got to fight it.
I wonder if I can if I can briefly respond to that.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Thank you so much. I think there is a bit of a misnomer here by designating what Israel's aim is to simply impose a major military defeat on Hamas. I have no doubt that that's correct. However, I do believe that what you're describing, quoting Anthony Blinken, as a failed strategy is only half correct, because Israel has another goal. The goal is to finally solve the Gaza question for once and for all. As the other person said, there have been many high-tech Israeli massacres in Gaza. It's actually quite a large number, more than 5, but I won't bother with the figure. And the goal right now is not just to mow the lawn in Gaza, but to extirpate, pull out from the roots, every blade of grass in Gaza. That is to say, to make Gaza unlivable. And in terms of that goal, which is separate and discrete from the goal of inflicting a military defeat on Hamas, that goal is coming close to achievement. They have made the north of Gaza and they have made central Gaza unlivable. Those landscapes can now be described as a howling wilderness. The only area of Gaza which is not physically unlivable, that is the only area that has not been completely reduced to rubble, the only area is Rafah. And so when Prime Minister Netanyahu says he wants to finish the job in Rafah, that, in my opinion, yes, it does include a component of trying to defeat Hamas, but the bigger goal, in my opinion, judging from what the Israelis have said, their bigger goal is to make Gaza an unlivable place. And so the people of Gaza, in the words of Israel's former head of the National Security Council, Giora Eiland, the only choice that will be left to the people of Gaza will be either to stay and starve or to leave.
You know, Lindsey Graham, the American senator, gave an interview also at the weekend. I want to play a clip from that, Norman, and come back to you for your response to this, because he raises an interesting point.
Well, why is it okay? Well, can I say this? Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive as a Jewish state.
Senator, again, military officials say the technology has changed. But let me ask you about how all
these
of this
military
could
officials that you're talking about
let me ask you
are
something.
full of crap.